First in high definition from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
There's been a lot of talk of unemployment, but now a local police department is hiring. Why one city is getting new officers now and what they'll be doing. And there's a lot of funny money out there, a counterfeit bill bust, how police say this suspect tried to hand off fake cash and how he got caught. But we begin tonight with a live look at Super Doppler 10 radar.
Yeah, there's a cold front moving in and some more stormy weather.
And we're in store for a big temperature drop. Down, down, down. 10 on your side's Chief Meteorologist Don Slater standing by in the Super Doppler 10 Weather Center with the cooling details, Don.
Yeah, that cold front is bearing down on the area, and I've got radar really cranked on up. So we're seeing more than just the rainfall out there. What we're seeing are some wind shifts out there. Let's have a look at things, show you what's going on into the region. Again, we're seeing a lot of ground clutter. There's not all that much rainfall out there, but that cold front has passed on through the Richmond area, dropped the temperature by about 7-8 degrees in an hour. It's nothing huge, and there's not a great deal of wind with it. Now, I'm going to get rid of some of this ground clutter here and show you really where the rain is through the area. We're going to filter out some of this. And again, there's not all that much rainfall into the area. The big story, again, is the fact not so much the rain. We'll see a little bit of rain into the area, but we're going to see temperatures drop. Today, so far, it's been 85 degrees. Tomorrow, 65 degrees. 63 on Sunday, 65 on Monday, and then a little recovery by Tuesday. We'll update Super Doppler 10 live for you, and a lot more details to fill in for our weekend. We'll tell you all about it in a few minutes.
Thanks, Don. Virginia Beach police say a bold burglar is hitting homes in Chicks Beach. The suspect's apparently striking when people are home. Detectives say the break-ins are happening along Pleasure House Road. 10 on your side, Surrey Crow joins us live from Chicks Beach tonight. Surrey, are people there, I would assume, on edge?
That's right, Stephanie. This is a pretty laid-back beach community here along Pleasure House Road, but a lot of folks here are telling me they're worried, and they have reason to be. While most burglaries occur during the day when people aren't home, this latest burglar is bold.
I've never had any worries. I've always felt secure.
Millicent Burton is thinking a little bit differently about life on secure court. After living here for more than a decade, she's finding out things aren't as safe as she thought they were.
I think it's awful.
3 burglaries in 2 days right next door, and this burglar isn't shy.
The person seems to be going in unlocked, sliding glass doors or windows on the second floor.
There have been 14 burglaries in the Pleasure House area of Chicks Beach in the last month. And while police say they aren't all connected, this criminal or criminals is particularly bold because he strikes when people are home.
It happened at night when people were home sleeping.
We are beach people, we all work, we come home, and they're invading our privacies.
Now Millicent is guarding that privacy more than ever. She tells 10 on your side she's not so ready to open the door now, and she's making changes to her laid-back beach lifestyle.
I keep them open all the time. Yes. These, the front ones, all of them.
How about now?
I'll probably start closing them.
And police say that's a good idea. They're really asking residents around here to be extra vigilant and extra cautious about locking up. Most of the items that have been stolen are small things that you are able to carry out, like laptops, etc. Police say they don't have a particular suspect right now, but they are stepping up patrols in the area. Live in Virginia Beach, Surrey Crow, 10 on your side.
Surrey, thanks. Hampton police say they got a call from a motel employee about the smell of marijuana coming from one of the rooms. Officers got a search warrant, went in the room at the Best Western along West Mercury Boulevard yesterday, and this is what they found. Take a look at that. Detectives say they recovered 30 pounds of marijuana, digital scales, packaging materials, cell phones, and more than $5,000 in cash. Police arrested 26-year-old Isaac Lipkins at his Hampton home. Officers say they found more marijuana, a gun, and more cash. Lipkins is behind bars on drug and gun charges.
A fake bill bust. Portsmouth police say a man gave a fake $20 bill to a 12-year-old yesterday afternoon and asked the boy to go into a convenience store and get some change. An employee at the one-stop convenience store along Portsmouth Boulevard tested that bill with a detection marker and determined it was a fake. The boy pointed out the suspect, but he ran. Officers later arrested 23-year-old Maurice Bryant. Police say they found more counterfeit cash on him. Detectives are also checking to see if Brian is behind any other potential counterfeit crimes in Hampton Roads.
Lots of talk of unemployment, but here's some good news. The Norfolk Police Department is hiring. That's because the city received a new federal grant from the Department of Justice. The money will be used to hire 6 new officers. 10 on your sides. And McNamara is live in Norfolk to explain more about these new positions. What great news, Ann, with all the talk of unemployment.
It is. Isn't it nice to hear good news about jobs for a change? Well, the Department of Justice is actually giving more than $2 million to just 4 communities in the state of Virginia. Norfolk's one of them, and those 6 new positions will all be for detectives.
Just saying the word police seems to give people a sense of
protection, I guess, or a sense of security. I feel a sense of gratitude, safety, absolutely.
I wave to the police. I always do.
But patrolling the streets of Norfolk 24 hours a day, 365 days a year is no easy task.
As a police department, we've always done more with less, it seems.
And now the news, Norfolk police will have more to do more with. The city is one of 4 in the state chosen to receive a grant from the U.S. Department of Justice.
Most grants are very, very narrow in terms of how money can be used in this case positions.
6 new officer positions to be exact, with entry-level salaries and benefits for 3 years. So we asked people, where would you like to see them?
The area I would like to see more police is around the Old Dominion area.
Especially in this area because there's been a lot of robbing and muggings going on.
Park Place.
I would think Park Place or Fairmont Park area of Norfolk would be ideal.
A spokesperson for the Norfolk Police Department says the new officers will work specifically on investigations.
If the grant says they have to be put in investigations, that frees up some folks to work elsewhere.
To spread that sense of security into new areas of Norfolk.
And I told you there were 4 communities in the state of Virginia. Norfolk's one of them. The other 3, the city of Alexandria, also the Bedford County Sheriff's Office, and the town of Galix over in southwestern Virginia. And McNamara, 10 on your side.
Newport News police determined a medical condition may have caused a driver to crash into a school bus this morning. It happened around 7:30 on Jefferson Avenue near Kings Ridge Drive. Police say the pickup truck ran into the back of the bus that was headed to Newport Academy. Firefighters used some heavy-duty rescue equipment to get the 63-year-old driver out of that pickup. Nightingale flew him to the hospital. No one on the bus was hurt. Another bus took the 3 students to school. Hampton police are looking for witnesses to a deadly accident involving an SUV and a Hampton man. It happened around 10:30 last night at the intersection of West Queen Street and Buckingham Drive. Investigators say the SUV hit and killed 64-year-old Arthur Green. Police don't know why the victim was in the middle of the road.
It is almost impossible to believe, but despite all the recent rain, that wildfire is still burning in the Great Dismal Swamp. This is video Chopper 10 shot a few weeks ago. Officials tell us there are still some smoke spots, and pumping operations continue. Crews will be out this weekend with pumps hitting the areas still burning.
Unbelievable. Well, it is hailed as the biggest victory in the war on terror since the death of Osama bin Laden. A U.S. airstrike today in Yemen killed American-born cleric Anwar al-Awlaki. Terrorism experts say al-Awlaki was as dangerous as the al-Qaeda commander who had parcel bombs disguised as printer cartridges sent to the U.S.
The death of al-Awlaki is a major blow to al-Qaeda's most active operational affiliate.
Terrorism experts say al-Awlaki was involved in several plots against the U.S., including the Fort Hood attacks, the 2009 Christmas Day bombing attempt on a Detroit-bound plane, and the botched Times Square car bombing.
And is there dirty water being dumped into the Elizabeth River? Well, still ahead at 5:30, why the Hampton Roads Sanitation District says it was forced to pump hundreds of thousands of gallons of wastewater into the river.
Well, when you go to a job interview, you try to look your best, but your prospective employers probably already seen you anyway, online, and already you've made a first impression where they're looking and what they're looking for.
And art out of sand. The masterpieces are the centerpiece of this weekend's Virginia Beach Neptune Festival. How does a pile of sand become something beautiful like this? One of the artists shows you how it's done when we come back.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 5 with Tom Shad, Nicole Ribas, and Super Doppler 10 Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
in our economy, more employers than ever are screening their candidates online before calling them in for an interview. They're scanning Twitter, Facebook, search engines, and blogs for red flags and for reasons to hire you. Companies are looking at the pictures you post, your status updates, comments, group affiliations, and even who you're friends with.
So the internet is the first, second, and third stop for employers today when considering you for a job. People are not even getting to first base. They're not even getting to the interview because of the content that's out there about them on the web.
Even if you're kind of exaggerating or embellishing or creating this idealized impression of yourself, the way that you do it reveals your underlying personality traits.
If they're getting 1,000 applicants for every job opening, they have to find a way to very quickly reduce.
Well, speaking of online activity, tonight on WAVY News 10 at 5:30, how Congress says Facebook is invading your privacy and why lawmakers want an investigation. 10 is on your side. If you're looking for a job, go to wavy.com, scroll over to the On Your Side tab, and click on Job Finder 10. You can search jobs for free, totally free, and employers can post positions for free, too.
A California man accidentally drove his car 150 feet down a cliff. He was stuck there for nearly a week.
He didn't have a lot of resources to handle with it, so he suffered through it.
We'll tell you how he survived, and wait till you hear who came to his rescue.
An amazing story, and they are masterpieces in sand showcased at this weekend's Neptune Festival. But how do they do that exactly? It takes more than a bucket and a shovel. We'll show you the tools of the trade when it comes to sand sculpting when we come back.
And for a change, nothing bothering the Neptune Festival in terms of tropical systems. There is a hurricane out there and a tropical storm. The hurricane, big one, 115-mile-an-hour winds. There's where it is overnight, moves past Bermuda, then out to sea. This one is heading westward, but that too will move northward. We'll tell you what we expect in just a couple of minutes.
32 sculptors from around the world have been crafting masterpieces in sand this week at the Virginia Beach Ocean.
Yeah, this weekend is the signature event of the Virginia Beach Neptune Festival, the North American Sand Sculpting Championship.
10 on your side, photojournalist Pat Dow caught up with sculptor John Gowdy for some professional instruction on the fine art of working in the sand.
I'm near Venice, Italy, it's called Castelfranco.
Master sand sculptor John Gowdy represents Italy in this competition.
Right now I'm mixing sand with water.
If he doesn't sound Italian, well, that's because he's from New Jersey.
And making a really cool substance we call mud.
He met an Italian lady, fell in love, but that's another story.
And then I use my mud, and you can put drippies on top. Kids love to do this, make drippies. We used to have contests to see who can make the highest drippy. Believe it or not, that's the crown of King Neptune. I use some pretty cool tools, I don't know, masonry tools, cake decorating tools, and just brushes.
And with those tools, he quickly fashions a sculpture most of us can only envy.
People think faces are very difficult, but believe it or not, if you practice them just a few times, you really get the hang of them. I don't know if you can see King Neptune starting to appear here. It's just a basic face, a man's face with a crown on his head. You can see I probably did this in probably, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. So wow. A castle may take, an hour or so.
Okay.
So, it just takes practice, just like anything.
If practice makes perfect, John Gowdy and these other artists have a treat for you when you visit the Neptune Festival this weekend. On the beach, Pat Dowd, 10 on your side.
Wow. Impressive. Man, he makes it look so easy. The winners of the competition will be announced tonight.
Yeah, and I could live a whole lifetime never be able to do any of that. The finished sculptures are on display through next Sunday. There is a $3 admission charge for ages 13 and above.
Worth the price, I'd say. Well, tomorrow in Norfolk, it is the 23rd annual AT&T Virginia Children's Festival. The fun, food, exhibits, and activities run from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at Town Point Park. Always a good time.
And in honor of Arbor Day, you can get a free tree tomorrow at the Virginia Zoo in Norfolk. Just stop by the zoo's front entrance. How about that, off of Granby Street from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can choose from a number of trees you like to plant in your yard, and they're free.
Now, in high definition, your Super Dot for 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
Lots and lots of outdoor activities.
Yeah, we've got the cool weather coming in. The autumnal equinox.
Yeah, that was a week ago.
Yes,
it was a week ago today,
and we've had a week. We've had a week of summer weather.
Yeah, we have almost, and really kind of tropical weather. We got one little shot of rain moving out through tonight, and not everybody's going to see it. We'll watch out for the possibility of a couple of thunderstorms. But the big thing that you're going to see is cold air. Let's have a look at what's going on. And the autumnal equinox was last Friday. Now today, of course, is when we're getting some rainfall, and we're getting some autumn weather into the area. Anyway, a look at what's going on into the region, and you can't miss this line that really starts popping up. That's our cold front right on into here. Temperatures dropped 7-8 degrees, even more than that into the Richmond area. It's around 70 into some areas farther to the west of the Richmond area, and our temperatures into the low 80s right now. So we are going to see a pretty significant temperature drop in the next couple of hours. By around 7 o'clock, I think it'll start to pop on through the area. Now we move in for a little inspection of what's going on in terms of these thunderstorms. The Manteo area, Nags Head area has seen a little bit of rain going on, and nothing too terribly big, and no severe thunderstorm warnings for our area whatsoever. And there was some thunder and lightning out of these moving through the Middle Peninsula, extreme northern Gloucester County, up toward the Reedville area, a little bit of rain going on there. And also into Sussex County, got a little area there right along the cold front. And again, that cold front is going to pop on through around 7-8 o'clock this evening. So a few evening storms with all of that, but again, the big factor is the cooler air that's going to be dropping on in. Here's where things are now, and here's our future track computer model. A couple of hours from now, that's going to be right on top of the Hampton Roads area, and we could see a stray shower or thunderstorm anywhere within the area. There's where things are by 9 o'clock. Winds become more northerly at 10, and they'll kind of pop up every now and then, 10 to 15, and get kind of gusty in the next 24 hours. There's where things are tomorrow morning at 7. An early morning spritz of rain is not entirely out of the question. However, I don't think it's really going to be dominating our day whatsoever. The cool air is going to be dominating coming up for tomorrow. Some sunshine, some cloud cover, and again, every now and then that wind will pop up, a reinforcing shot of cool air. Tomorrow night at midnight, there's where we are Sunday, a bit more cloud cover, and then during the afternoon, we'll see skies cloud over a bit more again during the latter part of the day. Now, here's what's going on right now. It's going to look like rain for the afternoon. From around 2:30 on, we start to see these clouds pick up rather rapidly. No rainfall yet for most of us. 79 to 80 degrees, high temperature today, 85. Last night's low, very pleasant, 65 degrees. And it's pleasant today. The humidity's not bad at all. 80, 84 degrees, but look at 74 into Richmond, and some of the areas just west of Richmond, 70 degrees already. So again, very, very much cooler air is dropping on in. And in fact, today 85. Well, we'll show you what tomorrow's going to look like. It'll drop 30 degrees overnight. It'll be around 54 for an overnight low. And during the day tomorrow, about 20 degrees cooler than today. Sunshine and cloud cover. Again, an early morning shower is possible, but not real likely for most of us. 65 coming up for tomorrow, 63 on Sunday, back up to 65 Monday, low 70s for the rest of next week.
A power line goes down and look at that, up in flames. We'll tell you what sparked it all.
And a longer deployment for the Navy, who might soon be asked to stay out at sea even longer. That story coming up at 5:30. Here's some neat video. Look at this. Joggers and cyclists had a new obstacle along Lake Michigan in Chicago this morning. Look at that. High winds kicked up high surf in their path. The waves knocked down most of the bikers and runners who tried to get through it. That's what happens when you try to get through it. Wind gusts as much as 50 miles per hour knocked down a power line in the town of Glenview near Chicago. A spark ignited the power line. No one was hurt. Thousands of customers lost power. Wow. You can even hear the gnat sound there. The winds also damaged buildings and caused bricks to fall and bang up cars. A Southern California man is lucky to be alive after his car plummeted off a mountain road into a ravine.
Yeah, and his own children are the ones that found him yesterday, a week after his car plunged 150 feet down. David Lavau's son and daughters searched California's highways until they found him.
So we stopped at every ravine and looked over every hill, and then my brother got out of the car and we kept screaming, and the next thing we heard Dad say, "Help, help," and there he was.
All of a sudden I just heard like a little bit of a voice, and I said, "Hello, anybody down there?" And that's when, my dad said, "Help," and then he just said, "Sean,"
Oh, I've got goosebumps. Police believe Laval may have been blinded by another driver's bright headlights and swerved over the side. He has rib fractures, a dislocated shoulder, a broken arm, and back injuries, but none of those injuries are life-threatening.
Oh, the joy they must feel. Laval says he stayed alive by eating leaves and bugs and drinking water from a nearby spring. The first thing he asked for was a chocolate mousse.
I hope he got it. Crews also found another car at the bottom of the cliff, and while that driver did not survive, police said the car had crashed a while back.
One automaker says there's nothing else like it. We'll tell you about the airbag it's installing and how it will protect passengers.
And we all use them. Some of us depend on them. Debit cards. They're in everybody's wallets, but tonight at 5:30, we'll tell you about one bank's plan to start charging you when you swipe that card for purchases.
Yes. Hello, 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 hello.
Oh, hello. I think, Andy, are you deaf?
Thank you very much for switching mics.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This doesn't have a little clippy. General Motors is adding a new airbag to some of its crossover SUVs. The first of its kind center airbag will pop up between the front seats. GM says the airbag could help prevent 29% of deaths in side impact crashes. The automaker says it will also prevent a lot of head and spinal injuries that happen in those types of accidents. The new front center airbag will first be installed in the GMC Acadia, the Buick Enclave, and the Chevy Traverse.
And a 10 on your side consumer alert, a helium shortage is causing balloon prices to go through the roof. A rise in global demand and production problems are behind the price hike. Hospitals and industrial companies get the first option to buy helium. That means party supply companies are passing the high cost on to customers.